Alright, so welcome back everyone. Damn, today we have we're back with some more Family Guy. Quagmire's greatest ever moments. Damn, I mean, Quagmire, we know how much of a, weirdo he can be, he's wild and also he can be extremely sick, but damn, he does have some great moments, I think. Maybe one that I can think of, off the top of my head, maybe him, protecting his sister from that guy, Jeff. I don't know if you guys remember that episode, but I do. I used to watch that episode a lot, when I was younger. What else? I don't know. I'm sure there's a few, but I'm just, I don't know. I'm just having a burnout or whatever. Let's go ahead and see it. I hope you guys are doing fine. Come on.
These are 10 of Quagmire's best episodes. Starting with Quagmire's mom, an episode where Quagmire gets arrested for sleeping with an underage girl. I know I said these are his best moments, but just bear with me. While trying to open his own bank account, Peter stumbles upon a shocking discovery. His birth certificate reveals his true name to be Justin Griffin.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's just a name. He doesn't really need to change anything.
Dude started acting just like a Justin.
Not gonna lie, he's giving off major Justin vibes now.
Yeah.
Peter develops the ultimate frat boy persona to match his new name and throws a wild party where Quagmire meets the enchanting Kira. As is his MO, they spend the night together, but the morning brings a shocking revelation.
I'm in high school.
What the hell? You said you were 23!
Yeah, and you said you love me.
Bruh, what the fuck is that, man?
And paired with the photo proof that
Come
he
on.
just sent Joe, Quagmire gets arrested for sleeping with an underage girl.
Boom! You're disgusting. Take them away. We've got all the awesome evidence we need.
The trial
Wow.
begins, and Quagmire's fate
Joe,
hangs in
come on.
balance with all of his friends coming to his defense because they're such upstanding citizens themselves.
As we know, according to Game of Thrones, if the girl has had her blood, she is good to go. Has the girl had her blood?
His friends' attempts at
What?
defending him actually do more harm than good to his case, so to make up for it, he takes the stand himself. But his defense doesn't justify his innocence, and he's sentenced to 20 years in prison. Just as all
Yeah.
hope seems lost, Quagmire's mom enters the courtroom.
La puta.
Wait, how does everyone know her name?
She's enjoyed many men.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
she's
get it
been
now.
been
Having
around.
his own dope ass, Crystal pleads for the judge to release him into her conservatorship so that she can imbue the teachings of Jesus into her sinful son. The judge isn't feeling
Wow.
it though, so he
How
gives
ironic.
him 24 hours to prepare for the next 20 years behind bars.
I don't think of it as 20 years. Think of it as two 10-year-olds, you sick freak.
Crystal tries to comfort her son.
Wow,
and urges him to seek
Peter,
salvation,
you're-
but he's not having
You're
any
a
of it.
jerk.
How dare you come in here and tell me to seek forgiveness?
Rather than accept her back into his life, Quagmire continues to blame her for landing him in the situation. Oh, so it was your mom that put that girl in your bed, Quagmire? On his
Yeah,
last-
exactly. You can't really blame her for this. I understand you growing up, traumatized since, she gave birth to you 9 times that day. But damn, hey, she did not bring that girl, to your couch, whatever. But damn.
Freedom, Quagmire says goodbye to his friends and neighbors until the judge rolls up to the jail at the last minute.
Your sentence has been commuted. You will not be serving
Commuted.
prison time after all.
Quagmire doesn't understand, but when Crystal steps out of the car, it becomes very clear what the judge meant by DNA evidence. Quagmire can't believe
DNA
that his
evidence.
Christian
Damn.
mother would do something like that, but
They
her
had some
intentions
fun
were
fun.
heartfelt.
Helping my son is the most Christian thing I could do.
With his future saved, he forgives his mother's past transgressions and welcomes her back into his life with open arms. It would be a heartwarming moment if he didn't remember what he was being charged for and what she did to get him free. Like mother, like son.
Yeah.
Quagmire got away with it and learned nothing. That's great.
When Quagmire isn't getting himself into trouble, he's helping someone else do it. Like the time he helped Jesus lose his V-card, and during Christmas of all times.
Bruh.
With the holidays right around the corner and everyone
Does
busy
that
with
really
last-minute
count? I don't
shopping,
know.
Peter and Lois have a run-in with none other than the Son of God himself at the mall.
Peter, look over there.
He was helping someone who was just as bad as him,
Who would have
bro.
thought the second coming would be in a Brookstone? Jesus is spending the holidays in Quahog to avoid his dad due to some serious family issues. So even the holiest of families argue on Christmas. Maybe we aren't so different. But Peter doesn't think Jesus should have to spend his birthday alone and invites him to join him in the merriest of traditions, excessive drinking! As they settle in with their drinks, the guys start brainstorming
The
ideas on
drinking
how to throw
plan.
the ultimate birthday party for Jesus. And then Quagmire talked about the most important thing for the party.
No, I'm talking about women.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely need some women here.
What else would Quagmire suggest? All this talk of women makes Jesus slip a surprising admission. His romantic history is remarkably untouched, literally. That's right, the big JC is still a virgin. Forget the party, their new mission is clear.
I'm saying, Jesus, we are gonna help you lose your virginity.
This'll be a very Merry Christmas after all. The guys take Jesus to a speed dating session determined to help him lose his V-card, but despite their best efforts, Jesus doesn't have the riz for today's dating world.
How's the wine?
It's terrific.
That's my blood, you know.
With no luck on the dating front, Lois decides to throw her hat into the ring.
It's time. time I had a little talk with him. So
But why do I feel like this would work on someone
Lois tells
out
Jesus to
there?
forget everything Peter's been teaching him. Everyone should take that advice, really. But feeling more confident,
Yeah,
Jesus figures out
literally.
the exact woman he wants to sleep with.
I want my first time to be with Lois.
Your
Jesus,
wife.
man. See, I can say that here, and it's not technically wrong. Peter is obviously outraged, but Jesus is willing to make it worth his while, being able to give him anything in the universe.
Brookstone massage chair.
Really? Are you sure?
I mean, who wouldn't throw away the sanctity of their marriage for one of those
Literally,
bad boys?
bro.
Peter excitedly pitches the idea to Lois, but she's not so sure it's the right move for their marriage. Although being desired by the Son of God is a huge compliment.
And the Son of God's first time should be special.
Son of God,
Even
bro. Son of
divine.
God lusting
Jesus comes
after
by
you.
to pick up a
Are you
glance
sure?
at Lois for their evening, while Peter lives his best life down at the Clam with a beer and his new massage chair. But his relaxation is short-lived as Peter's vivid imagination runs wild, conjuring up visions of Lois and Jesus together.
Guys, I think I might have made a terrible mistake with this whole Lois and Jesus thing.
Another bar patron overhears Peter's worries, and it turns out this isn't the first time this has happened.
Jesus ain't no virgin. He did the same thing to me last Christmas.
Yeah.
Jesus sure does get around, seemingly having done this to multiple husbands over the years.
So all
Not
these
very
guys.
Jesus-like Jesus. Peter
Gonna
bursts
get
into the
done just
hotel
like
room
them.
to find that Lois has already backed out of the deal, deciding that their marriage is too strong to risk. Not sure where she got that idea. This leaves Jesus to nervously backpedal, claiming it was all just a lesson in resisting temptation.
Bravo, Peter. Lois, seems like you folks learned the lesson I intended.
Yeah,
Wow.
sure, Jesus. The episode wraps up with
Okay,
Peter and Lois
whatever.
reaffirming their love and the massage chair forgotten, but it's Quagmire's
this
relentless
is-
pursuit of helping Jesus that steals the show.
Yeah, like
It's classic
it's
Quagmire
hard to
and
believe that this is actually like a like a Christmas episode. I don't know.
Energetically himself, no matter how crazy things get, and that's more than can be said than the time he married Lois in a Back to the Future style episode.
Damn.
So the episode kicks off with Peter feeling envious of Quagmire's carefree single lifestyle, especially after hearing him brag about his endless sexual conquests. Oh, Peter, when are you gonna learn that the grass isn't always greener on the other side? When Peter mentions his regrets to the guys of the Drunken Clam, Death makes a surprise appearance, mistakenly showing up because he thought Horace had died. This gives Peter an opportunity to ask Death to take him back to his youth.
Could you let me go back in time and...
I don't remember this episode. This
Death
is one of
decides to
the
grant
older
Peter's wish
ones,
to relive
really.
a night of his single life. Of course, Peter drags Brian along for the ride because what's a time-traveling adventure without your talking dog? Transported back to 1984, Peter and Brian find themselves at the country club
1984.
pool. The scene is oozing with 80s nostalgia, complete with Cleveland in his retro drip. And I thought today's fashion was silly. Now appearing as his 18-year-old self, Peter cancels his date with Lois so he can party the night away with Cleveland. The night spirals into classic 1980s fun, which I totally wasn't alive for and wouldn't know what that's like at all. Complete with neon
Yeah.
lights and Peter making out with none other than 80s icon Molly Ringwald.
Lucky for me, huh?
Just as Peter is starting to think he's living the dream, Death appears to take them back to the present, but here's where things take a turn. Back in the present day, Peter discovers his past actions have caused a massive ripple effect. He's now been married to Molly for 20 years, and wait, is that Lois coming out of Quagmire's house?
Oh yeah, you lost her,
Gone for
bro.
one night and you sleep with Quagmire?
Turns out Lois is married to Quagmire, and their kids, Chris, Meg, and Stewie, have inherited Quagmire's unmistakable chin and mannerisms.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Horrifying, but those aren't the only bizarre changes. Al Gore is president, and Chevy Chase is the host of The Tonight Show. As if that wasn't enough, Judd Nelson crashes at Peter's place regularly. All these people were relevant in the 80s. Again, not that I would know. Brian, ever the voice of reason, explains to Peter that by skipping his date with Lois and kissing Molly, he's altered the course of history. While Brian is initially charmed by this new world, Peter is determined to set things right.
We gotta get Death to send us back to 1984 again so I can undo what I did.
But here's the kicker, Death can only be summoned if someone dies. And in this new timeline,
Who are you
Al Gore's
gonna send
healthcare and gun control laws mean people are
up
living
there?
much longer. Oh, the sweet irony. But fate intervenes when Jane Jetson suddenly drops dead on the sidewalk, allowing Death to grant Peter another shot at fixing his mistake. Returning to 1984, Peter's laser focused on making sure he gets that date with Lois right,
Yeah.
but as always, he screws up repeatedly, blowing his chances at every turn. He
Bro,
begs Death for a
again?
redo multiple times, really trying the patience of the Grim Reaper. Peter finally manages to get it right, but true to form, he forgets his commitment a few hours later and heads off the party with Cleveland. In his defense, the dancing does look pretty fun.
Oh, look who it
That's
is.
crazy,
Only
yo.
14 hours late.
By this point, Peter, you really ought to know better than getting on Lois's bad side. With Lois now going to the
For
country
real,
club
you
dance
do.
with Quagmire and Death refusing to help anymore, Peter's left to clean up his own
Let
mess.
her get with
He
Mr.
rushes to the
Giggity,
country
man.
club dance, and the stakes couldn't be higher as Peter must act quickly before his family disappears from existence. Just another Monday, am I right? They manage to get in by crawling through the air vent, only to crash through the ceiling and injure one of the band members. Brian, ever the multitasker, steps in to play guitar while Peter tries to win Lois back. But
I was
it's not
bringing
that
Bri-
simple.
I
as
was
Lois
bringing
is not
Brian
able
on
to
his
forgive
side
Peter
quest,
that
whatever.
easily. In a last-ditch effort, Peter punches Quagmire and plants a kiss on Lois, asking her to marry him.
Will you be my wife?
How romantic, I guess. This bold move finally wins her over and she agrees, saving their future and restoring the timeline. In celebration, Brian plays a classic 80s song.
Let you down.
You just got rickrolled in 2024. Guys? Did you all leave? Well, with things
we didn't.
normal and the Griffins back together as they should be, there's room for one last twist. Roger from American Dad is now inexplicably living with them.
What? All the pecan sandy.
What are you doing there?
I may not be able to explain why that plot twist happened, but I can explain the shocking reveal of Quagmire's past as a Korean soap opera star.
This episode is actually really good. That's when he was playing in that Korean show, you know, and he's actually really famous there. Yeah, he was playing the Johnny the American, I think, yeah.
To Quagmire's house to rummage through some hand-me-downs from Quagmire's parents, and while the guys dig through the boxes, they unearth the ultimate treasure, a bunch of VHS tapes with Quagmire's face on.
VHS.
God, I haven't seen these in years.
Quagmire reveals they're from Winter Summer, a Korean soap opera he starred in while in the Navy, playing a character named American Johnny. Taking off every stereotype with that name. Clearly impressed, marvels at Quagmire's hidden acting talent, to which Quagmire nonchalantly adds that he's also a rock polisher, pulling out a gleaming tiger eye. Only Quagmire could be this effortlessly cool. Back at Peter's house, the guys eagerly pop in the tape and watch Winter Summer. On screen, American Johnny is told by his friends to put away his phone as it's ruining the vibe. Then, a cute girl catches Johnny's eye and he's off to charm her, all in Korean. A real poet, that one. The guys are hooked on the drama and are overjoyed when American Johnny gets the girl by the end.
Oh my God! I told you!
Fangirling a little too hard here, guys. They decide to binge the entire series, but are heartbroken when the final tape in the set is missing. Since it's unavailable to watch in the US and they're desperate to know how it all ends, the gang books a trip to Korea to find the missing episode. Really?
Yes.
This is what does it for them?
That's
the guys
crazy,
inform Lois about their sudden trip to Korea, and when she asks what to tell Peter's boss, Peter casually suggests she play an episode of Who's the Boss. Sure enough, when Peter's boss calls it...
That's crazy, yo. But, bro, I don't think there's any show that would actually make me want to do this. To fly, literally, bro, across planet Earth just to see the final episode or whatever, like the finale, whatever. I don't know, man. You guys let me know down there how you feel about this.
He may be an idiot, but when it comes to getting away from his family, he's a goddamn genius. The guys
Literally,
touch down in Korea, and Quagmire is instantly recognized as American Johnny, and the guys are treated like celebrities.
Holy crap, Quagmire, you're famous here!
But their mission takes a surprising turn when Quagmire is reunited with Sujin, his co-star from Winter Summer, who apparently still has some heavy feelings for him.
I waited every day hoping you would return.
Every day while you were taking...
Is this it? Has he finally found the one? Peter, still focused on their goal, eagerly asks Sujin if she has the final episode, and she invites them over for dinner to watch it. At Sujin's house, Peter's impatience grows as they're forced to watch K-pop videos instead of the long-awaited episode. Sujin surprises Quagmire by introducing Buttercup, the cat they once shared, along with her litter of kittens.
This is more
litter
than I can handle.
Oh my God.
After dinner, Sujin finally lets the guys watch the final episode. American Johnny leaves everyone in tears as he says goodbye to Sujin's character. Quagmire, moved by the scene, declares that he won't make the same mistake as American Johnny. He's staying in Korea with Sujin and Buttercup.
I'm not going back to Korea.
Yeah, he'll regret that one,
I'm not so sure about that. You're not exactly known for committing to one woman at a time. The guys do their damnedest to convince Quagmire to return home, leaning on the one thing
woman is
no
not
person
enough
in
for
Korea
you, bro.
can ignore. K-pop.
Still have cotton candy here.
Give me a second, just adding that to my Spotify. But Quagmire stays firm in his decision, settling into his new life with Sujin, where he quickly learns that her entire family, from grandfather to cousins, will be living with them. Well, there goes that dream. Realizing the reality of his decision, Quagmire changes his mind and catches the guys as they prepare to board their flight home, bursting into song and dramatically announcing that he's coming home.
Guys, I'm coming back to Quahog with you.
And there it is. Just like that, Quagmire goes back on his commitment to a woman he loves, much like he did with Joan when he faked his death just to get out of his engagement to her. So the episode kicks off with Peter appearing as a contestant on Wheel of Fortune. In a surprising turn of events, he advances to the bonus round despite choosing the most ridiculous letters possible. Z, 4, 3 Qs, and the Batman symbol? I'm no scientist, but I'm pretty sure some of those weren't even letters. A shot in the dark guess wins him the entire contest, and as a reward for his unexpected victory, Peter chooses 1 week of free maid service from a list of prizes. When his maid Joan arrives, Peter wastes no time in making her life difficult.
You made clean for me, Peter.
He has her pull a variety of items out of his belly button, ranging from a ColecoVision set to a carton of Parliament cigarettes.
What
Peter's
the hell?
laziness
How
and
does he have
childish
all these
behavior
things
are on
stuffed in there,
full
bro?
display, and Joan is forced to endure his antics. In one
Must be
particularly
the reason why
ridiculous
he's so,
moment, Peter even rides on her back like
obese,
a
whatever.
horse to the store.
Mr. Griffin, this is unbelievably humiliating.
When Quagmire tells you about
Humiliating.
riding women, Peter, this isn't how he means it. As Joan's week of service comes to an end, Peter decides to overwork her one last time.
I filled this watermelon with
Peter,
chocolate
you're-
pudding and M80 firecrackers.
As if riding
You
her
should
back
clean that up,
wasn't
bro.
enough, Peter. He hands Meg the watermelon, which does what you probably expected. A shocked Joan rushes in, and while Peter introduces her to the guys, Quagmire seems to instantly fall in love with her.
Hey there.
Love at first sight.
Nice to pleasure your
Yeah.
acquaintance. Would you like to go out to dinner tomorrow night?
How does a creep like him make it look so easy? After 3 weeks of
Yeah.
dating, Quagmire doesn't waste any time and
You gotta
pops
be a
the
creep
big
just like
question
him
to Joan.
now.
Joan, I've decided I want to spend my life with you. Will you marry me?
Call me crazy, but Quagmire actually seems to genuinely love her. As the wedding day approaches,
Yeah,
Lois and
literally,
Peter,
that's-
along with
that's-
their
that's
neighbors,
what's
visit
worrying me,
Quagmire's
man.
house. They find that he has undergone a complete personality transformation. Gone is the pervy, sleazy Quagmire we all know, replaced by a man who's focused on settling down. Like the rest of us, Peter refuses to believe this is
That does
real,
not
so he
resemble
shows Quagmire a
Quagmire,
stack
bro.
of
Stop it,
tasteful
bro.
magazines, hoping to trigger a return to his old ways.
Check out this month's Hustler, huh? Quagmire?
Oh, now this is neat.
Country Living Magazine? I hate him. By the time
Please,
Quagmire's
no. They
wedding
need to
rolls
bully
around,
him out
Lois
of
has
his
decided
character.
to stop breastfeeding Stewie, and as a result, her breasts have grown. Don't act like you didn't look. At the wedding reception, the
Hell
top
yeah,
of
I
her shirt
looked.
rips open, which of course draws Quagmire's attention. Noticing this, Peter deliberately spills champagne on her, then helps by shaking her. And now I have to act like a
Yeah,
man.
Peter's a good friend for this
predictably
one.
reignites Quagmire's old urges, realizing he may have made the wrong decision.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Quagmire
Yeah, you made a
confides in
mistake,
his friends,
bro.
expressing his doubts
That's not
about
you,
the marriage.
Quagmire.
So when he tells Joan that some of his friends
He is
think
a
they
good
should get
friend for
annulment,
this.
she responds maturely and reasonably.
If you ever left me, I'd have to cut myself. And then I'd cut you.
Peter decides that the best way out of the relationship is to
Okay.
fake Quagmire's death and creates a video where he's killed by a ninja, a Nazi, and a dinosaur. Surprisingly, Joan isn't convinced by the video.
You're not fooling
Surprisingly.
anyone.
No worries, time for plan
course,
B.
bro, you're
Quagmire
not fooling
pretends to have a
anyone,
heart
bro.
attack and die.
But surprisingly,
That escalated quickly.
To really sell it, Quagmire is buried with enough oxygen to survive so he can be dug back up. As if things couldn't get crazier, Death shows up to claim Quagmire's dead body, and Mayor West orders that all coffins must be buried in concrete to prevent a zombie outbreak. Peter, in a panic, reveals that Quagmire is still alive, pulling him out of the coffin just in time.
zombie.
Death interrupts, saying he still needs a body to take with him. Joan pleads for Quagmire's
girl.
life and grabs Death by the arm, causing her to die instantly. Peter convinces
Exactly,
Death to take
man.
Joan instead, arguing that she was suicidal and had already taken Quagmire's last name. Good enough. But before he leaves, Quagmire has one disturbing question.
Hey, Death, can you leave that body here for another 5 minutes?
I don't know what to do with that. The episode ends with Quagmire back to his usual ways, having
Bro, I
narrowly
thought this was
escaped
supposed
the
to be
fate
like
worse
his
than
greatest
death.
moments ever, bro. Are you serious, man? Whatever, man.
Committed relationship. But what he can't escape is his never-ending rivalry with Brian, which was only heightened when the pair stole each other's exes. So while Brian's waiting to bail Peter out of jail for breaking into his dry cleaner's house, he meets Denise, a liberal activist who is arrested for protesting a Walmart opening. Brian puts on his best moves to impress Denise, but she's not interested. Since his attempts don't work, Brian follows Peter's advice and takes a more aggressive approach by joining one of Quagmire's How to Pick Up Girls classes. If there's one man's advice to trust when it comes to landing women, it's Quagmire. Brian quickly learns that Quagmire's methods aren't exactly what he needs to win over Denise. As attempts backfire spectacularly, Quagmire admits that his style is only good for getting laid, not for anything serious. Determined not to give up, Brian decides to take a page out of Quagmire's book, but only this time he's using those tactics to land Quagmire's old flame, actress Cheryl Teagues. Shocked?
That's crazy, bro. He used his own tactics to get his girl, the love of his life, bro. Brian's a bastard for this one.
Brian manages to pick up the only woman who ever left Quagmire heartbroken, forcing Quagmire to watch helplessly as Brian treats her like crap.
Hey, Cheryl, get your fat ass over here before I dump you.
Oh, hey,
Wow.
he has been taking Quagmire's class on how to treat
Yeah.
women. Since Brian has broken the bro code,
Brian,
Quagmire
that's
realizes
crazy,
all he
man.
can do is meet fire with fire. So as Brian and Cheryl spend date night at a restaurant, Quagmire shows up with none other than Jillian, Brian's ex-girlfriend. The tension between Brian and Quagmire reaches a boiling point as they trade insults and try to one-up each other.
Did Brian ever tell you he once had a tick on the back of
of his neck that he couldn't reach with his mouth and it swelled up to the size of a ping pong ball?
Well, there goes my appetite. Not looking to babysit, the ladies see sense and leave the two children alone at the table. Outside the restaurant, Brian and Quagmire have a rare moment of honesty, with Quagmire admitting that he only picked up Jillian to irritate Brian, and Brian confesses that his relationship with Cheryl was born out of hate for him anyway. It seems like these two might actually bury the hatchet. Brian even asks Quagmire for a ride home, which he agrees to, only to speed off and ram Brian with the back of his car. It's kind of ironic Quagmire has such a strong reaction to Brian picking up his ex, given that Quagmire once did the same, only worse, because he slept with his best friend's wife at the time. So Peter invites his friends on his fishing boat for a party at sea.
That was
While
Loretta?
Quagmire's fishing, he reels in a fish that lands in Loretta's chest. Since he's there, Loretta invites him to reach in and grab it, and after a moment of hesitation, well, as much hesitation as Quagmire can pretend to have, he obliges. Cleveland blandly wanders over, but he doesn't seem to care too much.
We'll have to do this again sometime.
You name the time and the place, little Nick.
Later, things take a dramatic turn when Peter and Brian hear Loretta screaming at her house. Thinking she's in danger, they rush to help her, but find out that her screams weren't screams of pain.
Holy crap! We should go.
However, they only see the back of his body, leaving them clueless about the man's identity. So they spread the news of Loretta's infidelity to everyone they meet, not realizing that the man in question is none other than Quagmire. Well, who else would cheat with their best friend's wife? Quagmire's nervousness skyrockets as he dreads the moment when Cleveland might discover the truth, although no one knows it's him just yet.
Oh God, I'm screwed.
Peter decides to tell Cleveland in the delicate and subtle way only Peter can manage.
Your wife's cheating on you. What?
Nailed it. When he confronts Loretta, she angrily claims that she needs passion, something she feels Cleveland isn't providing. For some insane reason, he apologizes to her, which only makes Loretta see him as more pathetic, leading her to kick him out of their house. This is some lowest level gaslighting, Loretta. As Cleveland takes refuge at the Griffin house, Peter and Brian decide to visit Quagmire to get help finding the man who slept with Loretta. But when they see the same tattoo on Quagmire's backside, they realize the uncomfortable truth.
Peter, he's the one we saw sleeping with Loretta.
Great tattoo, by the way. Totally stealing that. Despite this shocking reveal, Cleveland responds with his usual lack of interest, which only heightens the absurdity of the situation.
Better it be Quagmire than someone she could get a disease from.
I don't know. When I think of Quagmire, disease-free isn't the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, literally,
tells Cleveland that Loretta wants him to express his feelings, and taking this advice to heart, Peter decides to help Cleveland find his passion by taking him to a wrestling match featuring Randy Savage. Not exactly sure how he went from one to another, but I guess nothing makes sense on this show. Desperate, Peter resorts to an extreme measure. He puts on a Quagmire mask and wrestles with Brian, who's unwillingly donning a Loretta mask. This finally breaks through Cleveland's indifference, and he becomes enraged, vowing to confront Quagmire. Finally! Only now, Cleveland has gone from 0 to 100 way too quickly.
Glenn Quagmire, you're dead!
Realizing his plans work too well, Peter tries to protect Quagmire by hiding him at Mayor West's mansion. But Quagmire quickly finds that even he has limits when it comes to Mayor West's lunacy.
Take this for protection.
What the hell's this for?
When the time comes, you'll know.
Quagmire returns home and calls Cleveland to apologize. Cleveland, armed with a baseball bat, chases Quagmire around his house. But just as Cleveland has Quagmire cowering and at his mercy, he realizes he doesn't have it in him.
It isn't in me to cause
He doesn't have it in him.
No matter how much someone has harmed me.
Quagmire apologizes to Cleveland for sleeping with Loretta, and just when things are looking good, Peter brings Loretta over. She and Cleveland angrily agree to divorce, with Cleveland asserting that he deserves better.
Well, I may not be perfect, but I deserve better than you.
You tell her, buddy. Quagmire
Exactly,
and Cleveland decide to
man.
repair their
Know your
broken
worth,
friendship
man.
through a friendly sparring match in boxing. But when Quagmire isn't going after married women, then he's just marrying one of his own, which is what he did after a drunken night.
Oh my god, yeah. He married this hooker. This old hooker. Wait, was she old? Can't remember. But she was this hooker that he married when they were in Boston, bro. Weird, man. That was crazy.
Has a student
Dude had to act like he was gay to get out of his marriage.
That he confiscated from a kid. Quagmire suggested the guys use it for a day out at Harvard University. Peter, Quagmire, and Joe head to the Harvard campus for lunch, but things quickly spiral out of control. How surprising. What starts as a simple lunch turns into a wild night of shots, strippers, and all-around debauchery.
Let's get wasted!
The next morning, a drunken Quagmire wakes up to find himself in a situation that even he didn't see coming, thanks to an elderly escort named Charmise.
Okay, yeah, she was old.
As of last night, we're man and wife.
Nice. A real nice one, Quagmire. You really scored with her. Quagmire is obviously horrified and desperate to get out of the marriage, but when Joe points out that a divorce could cost him everything, Quagmire decides to try and make the best of the situation.
Guess I'm just gonna have to suck it up.
Let her suck it up. She's the expert. Sorry, keep going.
Unfortunately for him, Charlize is a hot mess. Emphasis on the mess, not hot. Despite dressing her up as a normal woman, Quagmire just can't seem to put some class in the old gal, as evidenced by their dinner with the Griffins.
I got knifed in the vagina one Christmas.
Oh, the holidays are always stressful.
As Quagmire struggles to adjust to his new life, Charlize starts to question why he's so reluctant to be all in on their relationship.
What the hell's your problem? What are you, gay or something?
Clocking this as the get-out-of-jail-free card it could be, Quagmire decides to go along with it and pretends to be gay.
Well, Charmise, I have something to tell you, and this isn't easy. But I'm gay.
Charmise leaves Quagmire's home with a broken heart, and Quagmire is now free. Well, not exactly free yet. Charmise comes back to pick up her prescription mouthwash she forgot, and she catches Quagmire watching an adult movie, only it's between a man and a woman.
Damn it,
wow.
Gay, then the divorce is off.
No, I am, I swear to God!
But the only way she'll let him out of the marriage is proof, so she demands to confirm he's gay by having him sleep with a man. With no other options, Quagmire turns to Peter for help because what are best friends for?
I need you to have.
That's what best friends are for. Oh my god.
Is
crazy,
anyone
bro.
gonna say anything? Peter, being the good friend and idiot he is, agrees to go along with Quagmire's plan, but not without insisting they have a proper date first, starting to feel more like he wants to be married to Quagmire. Back at Quagmire's house, the moment of truth arrives. Watching the pair try to force each other to sleep together is equal parts hilarious and horrifying as they clumsily and reluctantly prepare to go through with it.
Let me stroke your hair.
Thank you. I want to do gay things for you.
Just as the paintbrush is about to touch the canvas, try demonetizing with that face on YouTube, Charmise calls off the charade.
Puking
She
in each
admits
other's
that
mouth,
she can tell they're straight.
Look, Glenn, you're obviously not gay.
She agrees to grant Quagmire a divorce if he wants it that badly, which he obviously does. As Charmise leaves, she tells Quagmire that he treated her better than any other guy she's met, adding a surprisingly sweet note to an otherwise chaotic episode. With Charmise gone, Peter and Quagmire are finally free, and they share a relieved embrace. The scene then cuts to the Griffin home, where the family is watching the live stream that Quagmire accidentally set up on his laptop.
Oh my god. I remember this one, yeah.
Judge Charmise's profession so harshly, though, is he ended up becoming a stripper to make money when he lost his job.
Yeah, he was a male stripper, yeah.
Quagmire's left with no work, but plenty of free time, which he of course uses to crash a bachelorette party. The partygoers mistake him for a stripper, and with Quagmire being Quagmire, he's not about to correct him. Honestly, it seems like the career he was born for.
Alright,
yeah.
Stole my bag under
Dance,
the seat.
Realizing how much money is in
Quag.
the industry, Quagmire pursues a full-time career as a stripper, but he is not telling the guys. Suspecting something's up, Peter, Joe, and Cleveland can't resist following him to see what he's up to, witnessing him absolutely kill it on stage.
Ladies, this is your pilot speaking. I am in the full, upright, and locked position.
However, he gets a whole lot less confident when he realizes the guys are here. His initial defense, he's just a dancer. Firstly, Quagmire, this is dancing, not this. But when the bride wants more
Isn't
than
this
just
the episode
a dance,
where Peter, turned into his pimp? Something like that?
True colors shine through as he says yes to sleeping with her.
Who else but Quagmire?
Who else but him?
Awesome cameo.
When Peter helps Quagmire get some money he's owed, Quagmire cuts him in on some of the cash and he becomes Quagmire's pimp. But of course, Peter's gonna take things to the next level. He can never just leave well enough alone. Quagmire's life as a stripper quickly spirals thanks to Peter overworking him, pushing him to do more and more for cash. When Quagmire tries to take the night off, Pimp Peter has to come by and slap some
that's the
sense
one,
into
yeah.
him.
You tripping, boy? You're going out if I tell you you're going out, bitch.
Quagmire ends up as
Yo,
part of the
Peter
HBO
was
documentary
horrible
about
for
the
this,
ladies of the
man.
night in Quahog, detailing his life of selling his body for money. Peter's there too, but he doesn't give a ton of insight into the world.
Pimping your own friend out, bro.
But just when you think things can't get more ridiculous, Peter and Quagmire end up in a spot of trouble when a client wants to do German things. I already googled that for a previous video, I am not doing that again. This is enough for Peter to realize his wrongdoings and let Quagmire step out of the business, but not before telling him that the pilot strike has been over for a month and he could have quit sooner. Surely he had a valid reason for not telling him though.
Are you still GlennQ10@AOL.com?
No.
Ah, well, there you go.
Well, at least Quagmire
There
finally
you
got his
go.
pilot job back so that in a future season he could accidentally kidnap Stewie and take him on a flight to Paris. Meanwhile, at the school fundraiser, Stewie is introduced to the game of hide and seek by
I don't know.
overly
I
enthusiastic
have no
adult who
memories
acts
of
like
this
it's a
one,
brand
though.
new concept. Stewie's eyes light up with excitement, and just like that, he's hooked.
One game covering covert activity, surveillance, and counting?
Back home, Stewie ropes Brian into playing hide and seek, even though Brian's less than thrilled. Stewie's first hiding spot is definitely starting on an extreme note.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Cool spot, eh, Brian?
Brian's getting pretty bored of hide and seek, but Stewie convinces him to play one last game. Despite Brian's warnings of where not to hide, Stewie still finds his way into Quagmire's suitcase just as he's about to leave for Paris. Stewie's logic? Hide in plain sight, or in this case, in a suitcase bound for France.
Stewie?
Wow.
Mr. Quagmire? Terrence.
Okay, who is Terrence and what
the hell is
did
he?
I just miss? Completely taken aback by having the baby in his luggage, Quagmire calls Lois to return Stewie, but Lois, ever the Instagram addict, refuses to leave their Vermont getaway. Instead, she asks Quagmire to take care of Stewie, much to Peter's amusement.
Bro, that's such a crazy task.
Mr. Griffin.
Surprisingly, Quagmire ends up having a great time with Stewie. They tour Paris together, visiting museums, and even dancing through the city streets. Their Parisian adventure eventually leads to them
better
being
time
very
than he's
drunk.
ever
When it's
had
time
with
to head
Peter.
back to their hotel in the metro, Stewie spots a little girl and decides to follow her off the train, which Quagmire doesn't notice until it's too late.
Hey, Stewie, stop messing around. This is our stop.
He scrambles to find Stewie but comes up empty-handed. And in his most desperate act yet, he calls his nemesis for help, Brian.
I lost Stewie in Paris. We got separated and I can't find him.
Of course, Brian doesn't let this go without comment and makes a few demands before agreeing to fly to Paris.
Wow.
A first-class flight, only female flight attendants, and a special kibble and bits meal. You are such a dog, literally. Brian arrives in Paris
literally,
and
bro.
bickering resumes.
Got
Brian
that
bashes
dog in
Quagmire
him.
for losing a baby, and Quagmire hates that he agrees with Brian's sentiment.
I lost him. And now he's gone, and it's all my fault. I'm a loser.
It's a rare moment of vulnerability for Quagmire, showing that underneath his usual antics, he's capable of genuine love and affection. If you choose to ignore that he willingly gave a baby wine, they do eventually find Stewie hiding in a cemetery, and to cheer him up, they frame this whole thing as one big game of hide and seek.
He said he needed my help because I'm a dog and I can smell you. You're too good to be found any other way.
And after a
That's
wholesome
crazy,
hug, the
bro.
three head back to the hotel, finally
Bro, I
reunited.
have no memories of this episode, honestly, bro.
And ready to head home. Quagmire and Brian putting aside their differences to help a baby definitely makes this one of Quagmire's greatest moments ever. But what about...
Yeah, I can definitely understand why this is number one, definitely. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for this one, man. You guys let me know what you think down there in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Damn, Quagmire's, greatest moments ever. I mean, hey, to be honest with you, I didn't quite understand how, some of them I didn't really understand how they were really great moments for real, but whatever.